health perspective, people who don't have the liberty to socially distance?
Well, the first thing that we need to recognize is that we're dying. We're dying at alarming rates. We're looking at the data as it's coming in because we had to cry for it. We're seeing 70% of the deaths in Milwaukee, African American. 70% of the deaths in Chicago, African American. 70% of the deaths in New Orleans, African American. When we look at my own home state, 72% of the deaths, African American. In Jackson County, my own hometown, 6 people that died. 5 of those 6 people have been from my town, Moss Point, Mississippi. So we're dying. And we're seeing the disproportionate impact of the burden of this pandemic precisely because of the inequality and the deep structural racism that has defined American society for generations. And you know, Stephanie, we have to put this into context. I've said this earlier, and I close my eyes because I'm trying to think of the devastation. We barely survived the Great Recession of 2008. We lost our homes, we lost our jobs, we re-entered the labor market through the gig economy and at the bottom rung. We've barely gotten back on our feet. And now here comes this pandemic. And so we lost a decade, the decade of the 90s, because of the Great Recession of 2008. I'm talking about Black America. And I think the effects of this pandemic will throw us back into the 60s and the 50s in terms of our economic standing. But I'm worried about our psychic and existential state. Yeah, our psychic and existential state. I am. It is, well, we'll see what happens.
David.